from Hidden Gem, and today I'm going to be talking to you about which dating site you should use. I know that this is an overwhelming question, and especially if you are new to online dating. You've been out of the dating scene for a long time and you want to get back into it, and you're ready to get back into it, and you go to get back into it and you're like, I don't know which site I should choose. So then you reach out to me to write your profile, and then it always comes with, which site do you think I should use? I have two answers to that. Okay, my first answer is go where the people are, because if you live in a smaller populated area, you're gonna want to go where the people are, right? Because you don't want to go on a site with nobody on it, because then you won't meet anybody and you won't go on any dates. If you live in a larger metropolitan area like New York, Chicago, LA, you're not gonna have challenges with people on having a good selection of people on most of the sites. The other thing to consider is who you are, and that is super important. And that's why I can't really tell you, definitely go to this site or definitely use that site, because it's not that simple. Okay, because it's about you and it's about your dating goals. It's about how you want to showcase yourself, like how you want to present yourself in a profile. It's about how you want to search for others. And it's about what your dating goals are. And that last one kind of ties into the reputation piece of this, which I will touch on, I will bring it up, but I shy away from that somewhat, because I don't think it's fair to do that, because you guys make up the sites. The sites don't make up themselves. So if you don't like a site because it has a certain reputation, well, you guys are the ones creating that reputation, right? The sites don't exist on their own. But it is something to consider when you're making a decision, so I will touch on that. So yeah, I suggest you end up landing where you feel the most comfortable. And the good news is you can create accounts on as many sites as you want, play around with them a little bit, and then make your decision. You don't have to make the decision right away, okay? It's, take your time. It takes a little time, and I know you want to just get in there and you just want to do it and you want everything to happen overnight, but that's not the way it works. You have to put some time into it. You have to think about what you're doing, and you have to, put some effort and thought into it. So play around with the different sites first before you, ultimately commit, especially if there is a, service fee or a subscription fee involved. You don't have to just be like, oh, I guess I'll just do Match.com and be done with it. So the first site I am going to talk about is Match.com, and that site has pretty much been around since the beginning of time when it comes to online dating. It's the most well-known and probably the most popular site, given its history and how well people are familiar with it. It's a really great all-encompassing site. So if you want to create a profile that really captures the best points about you, that's a great place to go. It starts you off with answering sort of these canned definitive questions like, are you divorced, never married, widowed, currently separated? Do you have kids? Do you want kids? Do you smoke? Don't you smoke? What are your drinking habits? What is your faith? What's your sign? You can answer all of that stuff right off the bat. And then there's the open-ended space where you can share your stories and, share your favorite parts about yourself with other people. And then you can even take it beyond that, where there's like shorter boxes. They're open-ended, but they're about specific topics, like where do you like to go for fun? What are your favorite things? Tell me more about your pets. What's your religious background, your ethnicity, that sort of thing. So you could really share a lot about yourself on this site. Side tip, I don't recommend telling your whole life story. Leave some, element to be desired. No matter who you are, you will find something to say on there. You will find some box to fill. That's what the opportunity at Match.com is giving you. And then from there, once you're all set up and you're ready to search, there's all sorts of, dynamic search features, or you can filter, exactly what you're looking for. And it just gives you the freedom to explore and see who's out there. And, maybe you'll be attracted to somebody that you didn't think you would be attracted to. So it gives you the freedom to be and do and look for whoever you want to, and to respond to whoever you want to. It is a subscription-based site. Like I said, you can still create an account. You just can't communicate with people until you pay that subscription fee. So you can go on there, you can play around, and if you like it, pay, start communicating, and go from there. See what happens. The other site that's very similar to Match is Zoosk. And that site is very similar to Match. It just hasn't been around as long. Get on there, see who might be on there, take in consideration, how populated your area is, and you might find, that there's tons of people on there, and you might find that there aren't very many at all. But the dynamics and the features of this site are pretty much the same as Match. The next site that we have is eHarmony, and eHarmony, like Match, has been around, since the beginning of online dating. Their process is a little bit different. They first take you through a pretty extensive questionnaire personality test type thing, where at the end they spit out, what your qualities and what your attributes are, and then they match you with other people who share those same qualities and those same attributes, based on their scientific logarithms or whatever they got going on there. So with that site, you don't have the freedom to search. They match you with people. And again, depending on where you live, you might get 1 match a day, you might get 10 matches a day. The other thing that can change that is, the radius in which you're willing to look for somebody. You can put, your entire country on there. If you're in the United States, if you're in Canada, Australia, you can look for somebody regardless of where they live. Or you can narrow it down to, a 30-mile radius and just find the people who live in your area. So the profile itself on eHarmony is also pretty comprehensive. They set it up a little bit different, where they have, they do the sort of leading space question thing. So it's not really entirely open-ended, but they'll ask you, what are you most passionate about? And then your answer to that could be open-ended, but it's geared toward, answering that question. Also, what are you looking for, and, a couple other things. The other site that's similar to eHarmony is Elite Singles, and same thing. They take you through this questionnaire process, kind of figure out what your attributes are, what your qualities are, and then they match you with people. So similar to how Zoosk is like Match, Elite Singles is to eHarmony in that it's newer, it's up and coming, so you may run into the not enough people are on there. If you want to be a trailblazer, if you want to start people down a new road, go for it. It's up to you what you want to try. So as long as it does attract the like-minded people, then you're golden. It just may take you, a little bit longer, because you have to wait for that person to, pick up the trail and join you on it, right? Dating altogether, as long as you just have fun with it, you're gonna be fine. The next couple of sites are OkCupid and Plenty of Fish, and these sites are, I'm not gonna spend too much time talking about them. They're basically the free version of Match.com. They have, a la carte, and you can upgrade your account, but it's basically free, and you can communicate with people on there for free, and ask people out on dates, because that's what it's all about. The goal of online dating is to get offline. All right, so the next sites are Tinder and Bumble, and they are pretty much the same thing except of two things. So they are the same in that they are the swipe right, swipe left dating apps. Okay, those are apps, just apps. There's no like a desktop version like with Match and eHarmony. And you use your Facebook account to create the account on both Tinder and Bumble. So you have to have a Facebook account. And really, they're just pulling in your account information. There's no, like, not all your friends are going to get triggered, you know, so-and-so is on Tinder. It's not like that. It's just basic email, age. You can pull your pictures off of there. So that actually makes setting up the profile pretty seamless. So if you are interested in somebody, so you get, you know, your phone, and then you get a picture, and you can, you know, click on, read their little blurb, and if you're interested in them, you swipe right. If you're not interested in them, you swipe left. If that other person also swiped right, then you get ding, 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 it's a match, and then you can start the conversation. So the two things that make them different. Tinder's profile, you are allowed 500 characters, and on Bumble, only 300 characters, okay? Characters. I try to emphasize that because it's not words, it's characters. So that includes spaces and apostrophes and commas and spaces. You know, you have to be really creative and clever when creating those profiles. The other difference is on Tinder, if you match with somebody, either party can initiate conversation, whereas on Bumble, only the woman can initiate conversation. Once she does so, she has 24 hours to do so. And then once she does, the man has 24 hours to respond to her. And then from there is where, you know, you can pay the, you know, extra couple bucks to extend your time. So again, yeah, both of those sites have, you know, a la carte, you know, upgrade features. But other than that, both of those apps, I should emphasize that apps are free. So you can get on there and you can, you know, start swiping away. The one thing about those two apps though is if you're on there, you're on there. You can't play around with it like you can on Match and eHarmony and, you know, those other more comprehensive sites. So that, you know, that does negate, you know, my earlier suggestion of, you know, try it out. Those, you're either on it or you're not. So when you're ready to just be on it, then just be on it and try it out. And if you don't like it, then delete the app. So yeah, those are free. Tinder has a reputation for being the hookup site, and Bumble less so because, why? Because the women reach out first. So I don't think those reputations are fair. They're good in tandem, but the challenge also then with the 300 characters is it limits what you can share about you and what you know of a person that you're about to talk to. So, you know, if you have like really strong deal breakers, like you're never gonna date somebody who smokes, you don't know that unless they put it in their blurb. Then you have to ask them, and then it's just weird, you know, like you're like, hey, how's your day, what's going on, I'm really great, so glad we matched, blah blah blah, and you know, and they respond to you, and then you're like, so do you smoke, do you want kids, do you not want kids? Like it just makes that initial conversation awkward. And so keep that in mind too when you're doing it. Beyond those maybe general sites, there's the special interest sites, okay? Our Time, Christian Mingle, Fitness Singles. I mean, there's one for farmers. I learned the other day there's one called Hot for Ginger. So there's something for everybody out there, right? Yeah, so I mean, if you know, have an affinity for something very, you know, like your religion, like, you know, if your Christian faith is very important to your life and your lifestyle and your values, and you really want another person to have those same values, then that might be a good place for you to go. If you're over 50 and you want to meet other people who are over 50, go there. The other thing to think about too is you don't have to be on just one site. You can be on 2 or 3 or 4. You can be on as many as you want. You know, you don't have to limit yourself. So if you want to be on Match to get that sort of, you can meet anybody in any so you can meet, any person on there, like from all different walks of life, and be on Christian Mingle. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it, you guys. Please let me know if you have any questions. I hope that this was helpful and informative for you. It's really about you. I'm gonna say that over and over again. It's about you. It's about where you're comfortable, what you want and how you want to present yourself, and how you want to look for other people. Play around with it, see what happens, and I'm always here, you can ask me questions anytime. Join my Facebook group and you can ask other people questions, and I'm not the be all end all of anything, so I'm always open to listening to what other people have to say and stories other people have to share. Okay, so yeah, thanks guys. I'm so glad that you were with me today, and I will see you again soon. Bye.